Welcome everyone to Vested Interest. This is Shane back again for another stock pick of the day. It is November 9th. It's actually my wife's birthday today. My mother's was on the 7th. My wife's on the 9th. Full of birthdays. Spend a lot of money this time of the year. But today we are going to take a look at LyondellBasell. And let's jump right in because I'm going to be taking my wife to dinner here shortly. So let's get right to it. So LyondellBasell, ticker LYB, right? We make infrastructure solutions possible. So some of the things they do, from the pipes that bring fresh water to the roofing materials that provide energy efficiency, innovative polymers from LyondellBasell are building a better tomorrow. Working with manufacturers and major brands around the world, we make infrastructure solutions possible. LyondellBasell is one of the largest plastics, chemicals, and refining companies in the world. Every day, our employees work around the clock to reliably and safely deliver the chemicals, polymers, fuels, and technologies that advance solutions to our world's biggest challenges. We are the leading producer of oxy-fuels worldwide, as well as polypropylene in North America and Europe. We are also the world's largest global licensor of polyolefin, I may be butchering that pronunciation, technology. If you want to know more about them, check them out at www.LyondellBasell Industries or LyondellBasell.com. Having trouble reading today for some reason. And the reason we are looking at LyondellBasell Industries, ticker LYB, out of the materials sector is they were down 5.26% on the day. Anytime I see a stock down 4, 5, 6%, I'm going to take a look at it. You can clearly see the decline on the day here. You know, they started around previous close yesterday was 84, opened today at 83.58, and then they, like I said, can clearly see that downtrend down to $80.12 where they closed out the day. 52-week range as low as $71.46, as high as $117.22, creeping closer to that 52-week low. Average volume 2.4 million. Today was 1.3 million. Definitely a lot more selling today than buying, it looks like. Market cap of 26.101 billion, a beta of 1.23, so that's more volatile than the overall market. And again, you can see that volatility there. PE ratio extremely low, 6.19. Earnings per share pretty high at $12.95 per share. Earnings date will be coming up the end of January next year, January 26th through the 30th, somewhere in that date. Forward dividend is $4.76 paid out on the year. They do pay out quarterly with a very nice 5.69% year yield where they currently sit. Ex-dividend date, last one was August 26th. And the one-year target, at least according to Yahoo Finance, where I pulled this information, not affiliated, just where I like to look for information, is $85.68 per share. So it does speak to some upside appreciation in the stock price. Now let's jump over and take a look at stockanalysis.com, another place I like to look for information. I always suggest going to more than one source to look up information. Just make sure that you have correct information and you're not just counting on one source. They have 32 stock analysts that have taken a look at this. They call it a consensus hold here. And part of the reason is they have a low estimate of $65.65. So they see some further downside potential in the stock price. And that would be a 18.07% decline from where it currently sits. They have an average estimate of $88.86 over the next year. That would be a 10.89% increase in the stock price. And that is actually in line with what we saw on the previous page there with Yahoo Finance. And if it happened to hit their high, that would be $120.75. That would be a 50.69% increase in stock price. That would be a new all-time high. And if it happened to hit their low, that would set a new all-time low, or at least 52-week low and 52-week high. So I would love them back in this 65. Full disclosure, I am long this. You'll see that in a minute. And I added some LyondellBasell today because I don't mind it at these prices currently. And if it hit this 65, I would probably just add more. Like I said, I do have a position in LyondellBasell, ticker LYB, in the materials sector. I am long this stock. I have 106.381 shares. My cost basis is $87.80 per share, currently at $80.13 per share. Like I said, down 5.25% on the day. So I am down on this position, 8.61%. My cost basis is $87.80. Down $815.87 here. Today alone, down $472.33. I have $9,340 into this position. It's currently worth $8,524. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about this one here. We saw the dividend yield on the previous slide there from Yahoo Finance was at 5.6, I believe, right in there. And this says 12.28. Well, there is a reason for that. Let's go over that. Annual dividend, also this annual dividend is higher, and there's a reason for that as well. Ex-dividend date is the same. Dividend growth, 125.69. This is a little off. Payout ratio is going to be off. It is a quarterly payer. And here's what I'm talking about. So back in March, this was paying $1.13. And it did have a dividend raise up to $1.19. But in June, in between this March 4th payment and this August 26th payment, in June, they had a special dividend payout. So as you can see here, $6.39 per share was paid out. That's a special dividend. This is not typical. Although on occasion, LyondellBasell does do these special dividends, which is part of the reason I own them and why I like them, because they do return a lot of dividend payments out to shareholders, and they do these special dividends on occasion. So I like that. It buys me more shares, and I'm doing nothing but holding on to it. But it does skew the numbers. So their payout ratio is not really this high, but it looks this high this year because of this special dividend payout right here. So it's right around, I like it below 75%. It's typically, in the 60%, 55, 60% range. But with this special dividend, along with the regular dividends throughout the year, it's raised this up. Same thing with the yield. It's artificially raised this yield up. It's not typically that high. Let's take a quick look at that. Hold on one second. Let me grab my calculator here and see what that would be. So if we looked at the raise from $1.16, 1.1, or I'm sorry, $1.13 times 0.08, 1.08, 1.075, that would really be about a 5% dividend increase, right? So the average dividend growth would be really about probably 5 to 7%, not this 125% that you're seeing here. But obviously with this special dividend here, it artificially shows a larger number. Same thing with the dividend yield, same thing with the annual dividend payout. So that's why I say you definitely want to look at more than one source for this information, because this source was from stockanalysis.com, and the one we saw from Yahoo Finance is the correct dividend yield. This one is elevated. So that is why I recommend always checking out more than one source. And really, that is it for this one. Like I said, got to take my wife out to dinner tonight, so I need to get ready for that. Trying to find value. These are quick hitters. So as always, appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to show me some love. Hit that thumbs up, ring the notification bell. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of LyondellBasell. Is it in your portfolio? Is it one you're watching? Is it one you're avoiding like the plague? I do personally read and respond to the comments. I'm always interested to read your questions, opinions, suggestions for future topics, or constructive criticism. Go ahead and put it all down below. And this is Shane signing off, wishing peace and prosperity to you and yours. And remember, financial security comes to those who take a vested interest. Hey, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you are having a great week. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this presentation should be considered financial advice. I'm only sharing my opinion. Investing for educational and entertainment purposes. Investing involves risk and money. You should never invest any amount you're not comfortable losing. Always do your own research. Invest based on your situation, circumstances, and select criteria. Seek the advice counsel of a certified financial advisor.